The scope and extent of investigations. An incident causing death or serious injury obviously should be thoroughly investigated. Also, the near-miss incident that might have caused death or serious injury is equally important from the OHS&E standpoint and should be investigated. Also, the investigator or committee should present the results of the inquiry as quickly as possible. This greatly increases their value in the OHS&E education of employees and supervisors. It is important to investigate all incidents because investigation allows for the identification of incident causes to establish preventative strategies. And incidents may become common law cases up to 3 years later. If not properly investigated at the time of the incident, details fade and memories become confused. In any incident investigation, fairness and impartiality are absolutely essential. Otherwise, the value of this tool can be destroyed when employees suspect its purpose is to place blame or to find a scapegoat, fault-finding and not fact-finding. Incident investigation has been widely and long recognized as an effective method for improving safety performance regardless of industry. The investigation is a common element of all safety and health programs and a core element in any safety and health education, be it formal or informal. The goal of an investigation is to direct the organization into a structured process for learning. The process involves gathering data, analyzing that data, and transforming it into action items for future use. It assists in recognizing errors and failures, and it helps prevent their occurrence, improves safety performance, and enhances productivity. Investigation can also protect an organization and its members from fraudulent claims. By examining the sequence of events and circumstances surrounding the event, the organization protects itself by revealing the truth of the events. If an investigation is not performed, there is no basis on which a misrepresentation can be refuted. The following checklist can be used to structure investigations and written reports. The most important step is to gather key information about the incident and circumstances surrounding it. This can be done by means of interviewing witnesses before their recollection of the events alters, gathering necessary physical evidence and identifying and securing key documents, for instance, recent inspection records, training records, etc. Obtain basic facts. Establish circumstances. Identify preventative measures. Establish whether initial management response was adequate. Identify the underlying causes. Determine the action needed to prevent a recurrence. Implement, analyze, and review. Companies should have an incident investigation process to ensure that all incidents, including near misses, are investigated. The incident investigation process contains 6 steps. 1. Prepare for incident investigation. 2. Gather information. 3. Determine causes, direct and indirect. 4. Corrective action or actions. 5. Communication. 6. Follow-up. Step 1. In order to prepare for the incident investigation, the investigator or investigating team need to collect all the relevant documents, such as checklists, reports, policy documents, and any other records that may be required. Step 2. Gather information. Gathering data or information is an essential part of investigating incidents. It satisfies legal requirements and assists the investigator in understanding what caused the incident and the immediate and underlying causes. When gathering information, the investigator or investigating team need to find answers to the following questions. Who was involved? What happened? When did the incident or accident occur? How did the incident or accident occur? Why did the incident or accident occur? An incident investigation report form is used to help investigators gather, at a minimum, the basic information that should be recorded about each incident. The answers to the questions on this report form constitute the minimum information needed to proceed with an analysis. The nature of a company's operations or the interests of the analyst may suggest other questions to be answered in the investigation. Step 3. Determining causes, direct and indirect. As the investigation team gathers information on an incident, it is important to investigate the behaviors involved in an incident. Remember that most incidents that occur in the workplace are related to employee behavior. Step 4. Corrective actions. Once the investigation has been completed, a report needs to be written that identifies how the incident occurred as well as the direct and indirect causes. In terms of Section 31(2) of the OHS Act, Act 85 of 1993, an inspector will submit a report on the investigation conducted, together with all the documents, statements, and information he or she gathered during the investigation. When compiling a report on the investigation conducted, one can make use of the following guidelines. 1. Employee details. 2. Incident details. 3. Direct causes. 4. Contributing factors. Injured involved party statement. Statements from all parties involved, including all witnesses, must be obtained. Additional pages can be attached as necessary. 6. Reviewing manager. Management must review the report ensuring completion and approving the immediate corrective actions and long-term corrective actions or direct other actions as deemed necessary. The manager must sign and date the form. Once a report has been written, corrective actions need to be identified that will address the incident. Corrective actions that require little time to execute should be done immediately. However, situations where the corrective action is more involved, for instance ordering materials, etc., the recommendation should involve a short-term and long-term plan. The specific requirements for recording and reporting incident and accidents include: all incidents that involve a doctor must be investigated and the findings recorded on an official form. Reporting of workplace incidents to the Compensation Fund. Coid Act No. 130 of 1993 requires that employers report an employee's accident within 7 days of the employer becoming aware of it, and in the case of an occupational disease, within 14 days. Employers must pay compensation to the worker for the first 3 months after the accident. Employers must send the first medical report, WCI-4, as soon as they get it from the doctor. If the worker stays away from work for a long time, employers must get the progress medical report, WCI-5, from the doctor and send it to the fund every month. When the worker starts work again, employers must send the resumption report, WCI-6, together with the final medical report, WCI-5, to the Compensation Fund. The importance of recording and reporting incidents. The keeping of records of accidents and reportable occurrences is a legal requirement. Recording and reporting incidents is also important to identify and learn from sources of error and risk which may lead to damage, loss or harm, complaint or legal claim for negligence. Step 5. Communication. Once the incident investigation report has been completed and corrective actions have been identified, it is important to communicate the incident report with the entire plant facility and in some cases within the division, group or department when a serious injury or environmental incident has been investigated. Also, the name of the injured employee should be removed when communicating incident reports. Remember, the purpose of an incident investigation is not to place blame, but to identify recommendations that will eliminate the incident from occurring again. Step 6. Follow-up. The final step, follow-up, is where a lot of incident investigation programs fail. Once an investigation has been completed and corrective actions identified, most investigations stop here. The reason for this is that we fail to monitor corrective actions and they fall through the cracks. It is vital to the incident investigation process to develop a tracking system that will give you the capability to see what corrective items have not been completed. Each plant location should analyze their incident history for trends and guidance in determining future corrective actions. In order to conduct an effective investigation into incidents, you need to familiarize yourself with the most often used terms. We will assist you in getting to know these terms. Accident. An accident is a sudden, uncontrollable, unplanned, undesirable event that disrupts the normal functions of people and causes or has the potential to produce or to cause unintended injury, death, or damage to property and/or business interruption. Accountability. Legally bound by the Occupational Health and Safety Act, No. 85 of 1993. Assessment. Measuring or determining whether an activity has reached its objectives. A program to determine any risk associated with any hazard in order to remove, reduce, or control such hazard. Business interruption. A situation where the employees leave their workstations and observe what is happening in the working environment. Production stands still. Cause. To determine the reason why, to find the origin of the problem, or to identify the source of the deviation. Engineering factors. Unsafe physical conditions due to poor design and/or inadequate operating procedures. Hazard. A source of or exposure to danger. Human factors. People causing unsafe acts because of their own fault or inefficiency, human inadequacy or incompetence. Incident. An unplanned and undesired event caused by unsafe acts and unsafe conditions or human and engineering factors that could lead to damage to property or equipment, injury, illness, or disease to people, and business interruption. Inspection. Check, assessment. Investigation. A systematic process of determining the root cause of a problem. Occupational disease. A permanent condition where the target organs of an employee is affected. Lungs, kidneys, liver, skeleton, blood system. For example, asbestosis, cancer. Occupational illness. A condition a human being is suffering arising out of the working environment that can be cured if treated promptly and effectively. For example, occupational flu and headaches. Prevention. To avoid it from happening again. Risk. Probability that injury or damage will occur. Solution. To find an answer, to clarify or to explain. Unsafe acts. This refers to a person being involved in incorrect behavior that could result in injury, illness, or disease and/or damage to property. Unsafe conditions. Incorrect design or manufacture of designs, technology, or workplace procedures leading to deficiencies or deviations that could lead to incidents. Workplace. Any premises or place where a person performs work in the course of his or her employment.